Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you want to know about sports, this is where you go. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you want to know about sports, this is where you go.
First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah.
Well, hello, and how the hell are you? Welcome to 202 of the Mizzle Dub Show.
Yeah.
202. Super Saiyan Jin Mizzle. All right. Paying homage to his
My other alter ego?
his Black Goku-ness, and then I am just the Black Goku. But welcome to episode 202 of the Mizzle Dub Show, where, well, I mean, his headline says it. It was definitely a tremendous weekend of sports. A lot going on in the wide world of sports. Had some boxing over the weekend. Had some Game 7s. Had a Game 7 tonight in the NHL. So the NHL and the NBA both have their Final Four, and we will get into that momentarily. But let's go back to the weekend that was in the sport of boxing, where there was a unification going on in Saudi Arabia. And, well, I'll just say this. The last couple of weeks in boxing, it has been a very good boxing week if you are from the country of Ukraine, as Ukraine crowned 3 champions in the last 2 weekends of boxing. Of course, we saw Vasily Lomachenko win the lightweight title, winning the IBF title. And then we saw Alexander Usyk become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But unfortunately, it will only be for a short brief period because the damn IBF is going to strip Usyk of the title.
Why?
Because I'll get to that. Now, of course, as you know, sanctioning bodies have obviously their mandatory challenges that whomever the champion has, or whichever belt the fighter has, you have to face that. However, because Tyson Fury immediately invoked his rematch clause, in a sense.
Well, we knew we were going to possibly get a trilogy out of this.
Yeah, but because of that, the IBF within the next 2 weeks are going to strip Usyk of the IBF title. So his unification, trust me, I know it's the same.
So what's the point of having a unification if you're just going to fucking strip him of it? That makes no sense. Don't call it a unification.
I agree, 1,000%.
Wait, boxing got to get this shit together.
And this is why fans talk mess about boxing. As much as we love it, as much as we love watching it, as much as we love talking about it.
Oh yes,
it's like the W. Because
we're getting right now, cuz
we're getting to that. So, but first, let's go back to the fight first, and then we'll go into why Usyk is being stripped of the IBF title. Which,
matter of fact, big shout out to Lil Cuz, man. He has been blessing the Mizzle and Dub Show with his talents. Man, oh man, wait till Sunday till you see what we're gonna pop up on the A7FL show.
Which by the way, if you want to get nice banners like we got, please by all means reach out to EJ Wizzle, and this is where you can reach him at if Mizzle would be so kind. There you go, right there. Creative Brothers Productions, photos, graphic design, editing, and video. If you need that. That is who you go to. That's where you go. That's who you talk to. That's how you get
blessing us
enhancements like we have on the show. But
yes,
fantastic fight. I said I wanted chaos. I definitely got it. It seemed like it seemed like people were asking, well, why did Fury drop down and weight? Because he was the lightest he had been in a long time. Well, we saw why, because Alexander Usyk is just a flat-out monster. He's a flat-out animal, and he's just relentless. And I'll tell you what.
What happened in this fight that Fury didn't do what he should have done. He let Usyk get in on him. He did not establish the fucking jab like he was supposed to. And we both said that will be a problem if Usyk gets inside, because that man is a ferocious fighter when he gets in that phone booth. And here goes Fury doing that clowning shit. And then moments later,
well, we go to round 7, where the fight turned for Alexander Usyk, because I'll tell you this right now. If Tyson Fury was not playing Pong with the ropes, if he was not playing old school Atari on the ropes,
or if he wasn't trying to be Jim Carrey from Me, Myself, and Irene, fucking box, bro. All that fucking fancy shit, man.
As Usyk caught him with the left, which made Tyson, he made him lean back. It almost made him go through the ropes. Which,
thank God the ropes were there, because he'd have been in the front row with somebody.
He would have been in somebody's lap, just like that one fighter was in Jim Lamp, like Hasim Rockman was in Jim Lampy's lap when he got knocked through the ring. There. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I went there. I went there, and I'm like, Jim, I was like, Hasim Rockman is literally at my feet right now. That really did happen, folks. Go on YouTube and research it. But the knockdown happened, and it just seemed like the championship rounds, it seemed like Usyk, I don't want to say stole the fight, but he willed himself to get that split decision victory over Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury suffers his first loss of his career. And again, back to harp back on your point on what you said, and again, you and I have talked about this. You and I have debated this so many times, and I've asked the question why, and I will ask it again. Tyson Fury is 6'9". You have a 6-inch advantage in height. You have a 7-inch advantage in reach, measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. His reach was 85. Usyk's is 78. That's 7 inches.
Yes.
As Mizzle said, and I'm going to ask this question again. Why, dear Lord, did Tyson Fury not do what a big fighter is supposed to do, which is establish and utilize your jab? Now,
wear
again,
him down.
Yeah.
Wear him down.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have did what you did to Wilder.
Deontay Wilder, yeah.
Use that big body, wear him down, jab the living shit out of him, because guess what? He's not going to get close, because you said what, brother? He has a fucking reach. But hey, what the hell do we know about boxing? All I do is sit here and talk the shit with my brother about sports and shit, trying to get paid to do this shit, but it is what it is. Been watching boxing for 30 plus years of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm 41.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. And I hate going back to this, but again, yes, Lennox Lewis was not the most exciting fighter to watch. But what Lennox Lewis was, especially when the Hall of Famer, the late, great Emmanuel Stewart, when Kronk got a hold of Lennox Lewis became a very sound, technical fighter. Yes. Not fun to watch. But he would do what a big man's supposed to do. Jab, 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 jab you to death, then set you up for that big right hand.
Yes.
Now, yes, Tyson was not himself in 2002, but Lennox,
he jabbed the shit out of Tyson because Tyson wanted to establish the inside. And what did he do? He kept him at bay. Nigga. We ain't doing that. And then as soon as Tyson lowered that guard, bow. That's it. That's the same thing Fury should have did.
And here's the funny thing. And Lennox is talking about where he broke his hand. He broke his right hand. That's why he was using it. And even then, even though Lennox was clearly winning the fight, Manny is still like almost Ric Flair chopping his chest, talking about you doing that pity pat. He's still Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
You need to knock him out.
Yep,
Yeah.
one punch.
You still need to
All
knock
it
him
takes.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and again, it's like when Lennox connected with that right hand, it was almost not to the point of Apollo Creed and Rocky IV, but Tyson got hit. It took him a minute, and then slowly Tyson just falls on his back. And I think in that fight, Tyson made a business decision because, like, why am I going to get back up? Why? I'm not going to win the fight. Why am I going to get back up?
You know, that fight, besides the Buster Douglas fight, seeing him fight Lennox Lewis, that broke my will. Because you're not used to seeing the man get knocked down like that, and he just looked lost. Like you said, Tyson wasn't all there. He definitely wasn't all there when he fought Buster Douglas. He was somewhere else, clearly.
Well, like our little big brother said, they lubed his face when he fought James Buster Douglas. And if you don't know, folks, when Tyson fought Buster in Tokyo back on February 10th, 1990,
oh, they use lube.
The trainer, for some reason, decided not to bring He decided not to bring the eye sweller to help the swelling of a fighter if the eye gets.
They sabotaged that fight. Don King had his hand in that fight. He saw that money line. Come on now, what was the odds in that fight? Tyson to Buster Douglas. Come on now.
A hell of a whole lot to a little. That's what I do know.
Okay, so somebody got rich and somebody's career went the wrong way after that fight.
I will not argue that. But however, Tyson was getting jabbed to death and comboed by James Buster Douglas, and Tyson's right eye was basically becoming a very nice big nut. But
and go figure, they didn't bring the thing that was needed.
Yes, they did not. They did not bring the eye sweller. Instead, they literally lubed his face with a condom. Yes, folks, they tried to unswell Mike Tyson's eye with a water condom. And thus, little big brother said, they lubed his face because he was allergic to Vaseline. And yeah, whoever was training him for that fight did not bring the necessary tools for that fight.
That is pathetic.
And the amazing thing about it is, he still almost damn near knocked out Buster Douglas because he caught him with an uppercut. And any other time,
if Buster Douglas wasn't built like a fucking horse, he probably would have went down.
If Buster Douglas was not fighting for the memory of his mama, because his mama's spirit willed him to get back up. His mother's will willed him to get back up. 100%. Because any other time you catch a Tyson uppercut, it's bye-bye, bust out the smelling salts. Thank you for coming. Checks in the mail.
Yep.
But
time to paint the city.
He was not going to be denied, and thus,
yo, what's good, brother?
2-5 Live, what's happening?
Yeet. 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 That's the brother man right there, fellas. Man, won't y'all subscribe to Live 2-5 as well, man? He getting his page up too.
He's about to bring some stuff.
And brother, I'm gonna have the young one cook you up something nice.
I'm
gonna have the young one cook you up something nice, brother.
Man, you already know. Just stay going with the beats. Yes, indeed. But
hey, wait till you hear that intro for the All Pro Jaffos.
Yeah. Which by the way, please do subscribe to the Pruneda Brothers Production YouTube channel, and please get their subscriptions up, as they are trying to reach the goal of trying to get to 500 subscribers. So please, support the Jaffa Army, support the Jaffa family. Like I said, very good friends of ours. They are frequent guests on our show as we are on theirs. So, Speaking of yeet,
Yeet.
and I'll yeet.
Yeet.
Oh, okay. Well, now, alrighty then. There we go. But back to Usyk and Fury. It's just, Usyk was just, well, as we know, Usyk is just fighting more for himself. He's fighting for his country, and and I'll just say that innocence helped him and willed him to getting a win, in Saudi Arabia.
This fight meant a little more to him.
Oh yeah,
just a little bit more.
Well,
not like it didn't mean nothing to Fury. Don't get us wrong. We're not saying this, but Usyk had a little more drive in this one.
There was a lot on the line for Usyk, not so much for Fury.
Yes, it was 2-5. It was.
But just the look on Fury's face in slow motion, which camera work in boxing is some of the greatest stuff you will ever see. Yes. But the look on the look on Fury's face when that big left from the Ukrainian just caught him. You would think it just like his whole jaw just broke. That's just how vicious it was. But it was just a tremendous fight, and like I said, I'm sorry, I had the wrong round. It was round 9 when the fight turned. That's when Fury got caught. And almost got the other end. So I gave the wrong number. It was round 9. Go figure. You're at a kid's party watching the fight. Go figure. Go figure. But however, it was scored a knockdown. But the judges had the fight 115, 112. Yeah. 2 judges scored about 115 to 112, and 114 to 113 for Usyk, and the other judge had a 114, 113 for Fury, which
I like that. I'm not mad at that.
No,
but I think that knockdown should have made the score just a little bit more different.
Which is why I say the 115 to 112 score makes a little bit more sense because of the knockdown. Yes. Because obviously knockdown means it's a 10-8 round, depending on how many times you get knocked down. Now,
but it's pretty much these judges were pretty spot on with the fight. But it's
well, I'm sure for this big magnitude, especially now that Saudi Arabia, in a sense, is becoming a very big player in the fight game in both MMA and boxing, and of course the events that WWE has. There's a lot. There's a lot of money being poured into Saudi Arabia sports. Now, again,
well, you see what the dude trying to say. He trying to get that Terrence Crawford Canelo fight. He pulled that shit off. He will look. I will hit him with the "we're not worthy." Straight up, you pull that one off. That fight is needed.
Yeah, man,
and I don't care. They can put that fight on a damn moon, and I'll find a way to watch that shit. Just make it happen.
Well, like I said, that would be one fight I would pay for.
Yeah.
cinnamon and bud. That I'll pay for.
Bro, I don't think I would have to pick a winner. I just want to see a good fight. Like I said with Fury and Usyk. I couldn't pick a winner. I like both fighters.
Yeah.
I just want a good performance.
Well,
damn it, got a good performance.
Well, I know our good friend Mr. Ruff is very, very happy that Fury lost because he cannot stand him for nothing. He respects his skill, but he's just not a fan of him. But nonetheless, congratulations to Usyk. Us is coming in hot on fire already.
Hey, straight up.
You love it.
Straight up.
But
straight up.
But unfortunately, now that it has subsided, unfortunately, Usyk is being stripped of the IBF heavyweight title. Not because of Usyk's doing, because once Fury obviously invoked his rematch clause, because I think it was Daniel Dubai that was the no, I'm sorry, it was Flip Hargovic that was the IBF's mandatory challenger at heavyweight to face Usyk. But because Fury exercised his rematch clause, the IBF is going to take that off Fury. And then when Hargovic and Dubai's fight on June 1st, that will be for the IBF heavyweight title. So even as we recognize Usyk as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, it will not be for long, because once again, the sanction governing bodies of boxing just want to get in the way and cock block. So there you have it. So now,
This man can't just have, because you know what? They damn near took that belt away from him about as fast as WWE took the belt away from Drew McIntyre. That is some cold business.
And one of those sports is predetermined, folks.
Right?
Yeah. The results are predetermined, but understand the bumps they take, that's real. Because I promise you, if you take a bump the wrong way, you possibly can end up like the late Darren Drozdov, paralyzed.
Oh, you okay? I was just going injury wise. You went there.
Well, I did go there. I did go there, but
okay.
yes,
You gotta understand.
I mean, Triple H bouncing off the ropes and tearing his quad in San Jose.
Stone Cold breaking his neck.
Stone Cold getting tombstone by the late Owen Hart, and not even to mention Owen Hart, for crying out loud.
Oh, well, life gone.
Yeah,
I saw it. They instantly went boo.
I mean, when you got Jim Ross on live pay-per-view TV talking about we got a problem here, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's worse than child support, then that's pretty doggone bad. That is pretty doggone bad.
Hey, well,
like I said,
at least he got the held the belt. Sometimes the child support, they don't even get to see the money. They just take the check. At least he held the belt.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not the first time that this has happened, because again, we go back.
It's boxing.
I mean,
you do stupid shit like this.
Well, the first time this happened, it's not because of the sanctioned body. It's because Riddick Bowe, and I respect Riddick Bowe, but
that's a name right there.
But Riddick Bowe, your nuts got shrunk, and you ran away from Lennox Lewis, and that's why. For those that don't know, folks, Lennox Lewis beat Riddick Bowe's ass in the Olympics. Beat him pretty damn good. Good. Now,
pretty good.
Professionally, Lennox Lewis has wanted to fight. Oos, stop it! Stop! Damn it! Stop it! Oos is on fire. But when Riddick Bowe beat Evander Holyfield in 1992, which one of the great classic heavyweight fights of all time, and one of the best rounds you'll ever see is round 10 of Bowe Holyfield 1. That is one of the best rounds of all time in boxing, certainly in heavyweight boxing history.
I believe the leather was getting thrown that round.
Oh, yes, it was.
That leather was getting thrown.
And then you saw the tremendous heart of Evander Holyfield. Even in defeat, the man went down on his shield and almost dropped Riddick Bowe in that infamous.
They both was tired as shit, though.
Yeah, they
both were tired, but the blows were just coming in. Oh,
yes, but how be ever? Within a month of him becoming the undisputed champion, because Lennox Lewis was next up from the WBC as the mandatory challenger, literally in public, Riddick Bowe literally put the WBC title in a trash can and was like, sorry, Lennox. Every time Lennox wanted to fight Riddick Bowe did one of these and ran away. And even today, still, like when they have all the heavyweight champions line up to take pictures,
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe will still separate himself away from Lennox Lewis. all because of how Lennox Lewis just put hands on Riddick Bowe in the Olympics.
Hey, I guess when you know you're gonna run, you don't want to run into an ass whipping. You already got served once. He ain't trying to be served twice.
What? Well, that didn't
Some
mean
people, some people just don't have that in their DNA, bro. They just don't.
And I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not. And the same thing happened to Lennox Lewis when he won the unified, when he became undisputed champion, as the WBA stripped him of that title. So
I mean, I don't know what's up with this. That should not be, that word should not be allowed in boxing unless you do something like get caught doing some stupid drugs or something. But if you're winning, why are you getting stripped and you're winning? I've never heard of that.
or as some would say, there's certain fighters, i.e. the Charlo brothers, i.e. Cinnamon, that don't defend their titles for a long period of time.
Yes.
And they don't, and nothing happens to them.
Yeah. Right.
But yet we have a man fighting for his country, a God-fearing man at that.
Wow.
And a very quiet, decent human being. And the man that literally fought in the war. He was a soldier in Ukraine up against Mother Russia. Yes, him.
Him and Lomachenko.
Yes, him and Vasily fighting side by side to save their country.
And both got belts.
But yet, because Tyson Fury wants to cock block, the IBF was like, well,
you knew that he has a blemish on his record now. Of course, he got to defend that. He got to get that back. There's a blemish.
Well, I guarantee the one person that said, damn it, was probably Anthony Joshua.
He got screwed. He got time out of it when this fight happened. And they stripped, He falls, him and Wilder got screwed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Wilder was going to have a chance anyway.
No, but I mean,
I don't think he's going to see Fury no more. No mas.
No. Well,
no mas.
I mean, I don't know why, because I mean the last two times Fury decisively whooped that ass.
Bruh, had him looking like Martin Lawrence, like the dude from how Martin Lawrence was on the ropes when he was fighting the Hitman Hearns in the episode.
Oh God, he went there. Oh, he went there. But that was
facts are facts.
Hey, but that was not the only thing that happened this past weekend, as Denis Bernchek, another Ukrainian, gets a big win over Emmanuel Navarrete in San Diego capture.
I must have fell asleep. Navarrete lost?
Yeah. Yes.
No shit.
Yes. Bernchek.
Hey, but he was looking a little, for what I do remember, he was not looking himself in that fight.
No.
Something was slightly off. It was off.
Navarrete was hitting Bernchek, but it was not hard shots. And Bernchek was just being decisive, and he basically controlled the pace of the whole fight. And then Navarrete waited too late to engage. Now, yeah, he might have cut the last few rounds in the champion rounds, but but Berncheck just did what he had to do to win the match, which again it was a unanimous decision. Um, the judges had the scorecard. I'm sorry, was that a split decision? Okay, it was a split decision. Okay, so but the judges that scored it for him had it 115, 113, and 116, 112. And then one judge had it 116, 112 for Navarrete, which I don't know what he was watching.
Oh.
But this is also a guy that was also Olympic teammates with Usyk back in 2012. So there's a long history there. So
it was just a weekend for him, huh?
It was basically the Ukrainians ruled the boxing weekend this past weekend and the weekend before with Loma,
Yep.
Usyk, and Burchik all becoming champions in their own right, as now Bernchek becomes. You know what? And that's a very good point, 2-5. But and not to mention that Fury's dad headbutting somebody.
Oh, from that camp too.
Yeah, yeah. Fury's dad headbutting somebody in Usyk's camp.
I think paps.
I think silently or privately it lit a fire under Usyk. And like we said,
what's the board?
Usyk's not a big talker. If you paid attention to him, he doesn't do much talking. He lets his hands and his boxing skill do that because, like we said before, he was even a better cruiserweight than he is a heavyweight right now.
Oh boy!
like if you, they are factual statement.
100.
Factual statement.
We'll hang a star on that one.
And like I said, I mean, as legendary as Evander Holyfield was as a heavyweight, cruiserweight Evander,
beast.
Cruiserweight Evander, you do not want those issues.
You don't want them skibidi paps.
And again, I hate going back to this, but again, lightweight Floyd Mayweather was problems.
That's when he was Pretty Boy.
Pretty Boy would knock your ass out.
Straight up.
And
see, like that's what I try to tell people. I was a fan before he became Money Mayweather. See, I like the persona that he came when he created Money. I'm like, oh, look at this little motherfucker right here. Okay, but that Pretty Boy dude. Ask Corrales about Pretty Boy.
Ask him. Ask Gotti. Ask Jose Luis Castillo.
Whew. What Gotti eyes were just like, can you see out them? Can you see out them things?
Gotti's face looked worse than his old face in the Mickey Ward trilogy.
Yes.
And we all know how great that trilogy was between Irish Mickey Ward and Thunder Gotti. I mean,
classic.
How many times have me and Mizzle talked about round 9 of their first fight? We talked about that ad nauseum. Again, one of the all-time great rounds in boxing. And of course, Jim Lampley with a great line. You can stop it at any time, Tony. But the referee let him go.
The leather was being literally just tossed around in that round. Oh. Matter of fact, I might have to put that on YouTube in a second. Put that in the background.
The only thing missing was your guy refereeing that fight. That was the only thing missing.
That man is tremendous. That man is tremendous. Was it the last fight? Who was it? Was it Canelo's fight where he was doing the prelims? And I sent you the picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm happy today. I'm a guy in the ring. And of course, he gave me the theatrics as always. So, I took that in.
Yeah.
This is that I can't even think of his name. I ain't gonna even try to butcher it. I ain't even say the wrong name.
No, I got you. Hold on.
I can't think of it right now.
No.
I know it's not Winks.
It's not Tony Winks.
And Tony Weeks is a damn good ref too.
No, Steve Willis is who you're referring to.
Steve Willis. Yes, that's the guy.
Well. He's one of them.
He's Mills Lane.
Mills Lane.
I just said the other guy's name here a second ago.
Even though Steve Willis, of course, Kenny Bayless. What I say you must obey.
Hey, he was firm with his shit.
See, Steve Willis is on the brain.
Yes, Steve Willis. Yes.
Jack Reese is also good referee. Jack Reese, who normally officiates a lot of bouts in California, he's good.
Yeah.
I know he gets flack, but Richard Steele is a Hall of Famer for a reason.
That is 100%.
Like I said, I mean, what fight did Richard Steele did boxing that day?
That's about all I got. So another one out there, but that's about all I can.
Robert Bird's good. Let's see who else. 20 Weeks is not bad.
Yeah.
But there was another one, and I forgot his name. Good Lord.
But if we just go,
I can see it.
You just can't say it. It'll come later. You'll be laying down and be like, "Damn it, that's what I wanted to say." It always happens.
I'm gonna research the name because he was very good. No. Who is it?
But I'm just gonna say if it's gonna be an all-time favorite, it has to be. Let's get it on, Mills Lane.
Oh yeah, Mills Lane.
That's my OG. Oh yeah, you're gonna really dive deep into this one, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yes, because
it is going to bug you.
He comes to mind when I watch it because he was fantastic. Of course, obviously, the late what's his doggone name? I just
betting over.
I am betting an over.
Just a bit outside.
He tried the corner and he missed. Tony Cappuccino, the man that just refereed the first fight between Gotti and Ward. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Frank Cappuccino. I got it wrong. Frank Cappuccino, not Tony. Frank Cappuccino, the referee that.
How can you forget a drink?
Right. Let's see. Who refereed?
Now, which fight are you looking for? That was the referee.
I want to say yes. It had. Yeah. It was. Yes. Okay. There it is. Now I found him because he refereed the fight between Hearns and Duran. So
you went back. You went back.
Yeah, I went there. Carlos Padilla.
Oh, I forget about that guy. Yeah, you can't forget about that guy.
Yeah. No. He was very good referee. Very good referee. 100%. And he was the man that refereed the thriller in Manila between Smokin' Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. So yes, Carlos Padilla. Carlos Sonny Padilla.
That's a good list. It's a good list of referees right there.
One of the all-time greats.
Some good quality refs that you knew that the fight was in good hands when they stepped into that ring. Yes.
Yeah, he did Hearns and Duran. He did the first fight between Sugar Ray and Roberto Duran. He did Salvador Sanchez and Wilfredo Gomez. Also refereed Wilfred Benitez and one Ray Charles Leonard. So he's he is definitely up there. But those are just some of the referees that we like. And then I'm still sad that Kenny Bayless retired. But hey,
Yes.
it is what it is. But
You gotta
nonetheless,
when it's time to call it quits.
oh yeah, absolutely. But still, what I say, you must obey.
Damn right.
One of the great ringside notes there. But there's a lot more fights coming up. We got Teofimo Lopez coming up. We got Shakur Stevenson coming up. We got Tank and Frank Martin coming up real soon. So there's
boxing is in good hands right now.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good.
There's a lot of things going on, and I think. Okay, thank you. No. All right. Yeah, we got fights coming up in Tampa, fights coming up in England, more fights in Saudi Arabia. We got some boxing on the 6th of June on ESPN. We also got it on June 8th inside the theater in Madison Square Garden. In Puerto Rico, we got an IBF Junior welterweight title, and then of course June 15th, we got Gervonta Davis fighting Frank Martin for the WBA lightweight title. That'll take place at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Of course, we got Rafael Espinosa fighting Sergio Sanchez for the WBO featherweight title. That'll take place at the Fountain Blue in Las Vegas on June the 21st. Then on June 29th for the WBC Super Flyweight title. And flyweights mean one thing. No defense. A whole lot of leather being thrown. Juan Francisco Estrada taking on Jesse Rodriguez for the WBC Super Flyweight title. And then on the 29th, Teofimo Lopez defends his WBO Super Lightweight title against Steve Claggett. That is in Miami, Florida at the James Knight Center on ESPN. And then the following week on July the 6th is Shakur Stevenson in Newark, New Jersey, a hometown fight for him, as he'll take on Artem Hartnuman for the WBC lightweight title. That's on July the 6th. And then on July the 13th, on DAZN in Philadelphia.
Oh.
Outside the heart of Rocky Balboa. It'll be Cody Crawley going up against IBF World Welterweight Champion Jaron Boots Ennis.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I'm definitely timing on that one.
Then of course, we got July 20th, Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. And Mike Tyson is taking some receipts because he's like, you calling me out? Mike Tyson's talking about he's been eating raw meat while he's training. Man's talking about eating raw meat. And then, of course, Terrence Crawford against Israel Madurmov in Los Angeles.
Oh, somebody actually stepped up to the plate and took a fight to fight Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, that'll be on August the 3rd. So that's what's going on.
Man, boxing is set for a minute. Some good matches.
Yes, good matches. Now we've come down to 4 in the association. One team we expected to be there. The other 3, maybe not so much, but we're gonna.
That's why you play. That's why you play the game.
That is definitely why you play the game. But we're gonna backtrack. We're gonna start what happened in the past weekend. So the first Game 7 took place on Saturday. I'm sorry.
Yes.
First clinch took place on Saturday where the Mavericks down 17 to the Thunder. And then Luka Doncic said, you know what? I am not going to prematurely wake up. I'm just going to mess around and I'm just going to get myself one to the tune of 29, 10, and 10.
Man, talk about filling the stat sheet.
To lead the comeback for the Mavericks. Jones had 22. Kyrie had 22, even though Kyrie did not shoot the ball all that well, still got 23 points. Lively had 12 off the bench, despite the fact that SGA had 36 to lead the Thunder. Williams 21, Holmgren 21, Joe and Dort each had 11, but at the end, the Thunder blow a 17-point lead, and the Mavericks win by 117 to 116, and the Dallas Mavericks, for the second time in 4 seasons, will be in the conference finals. Of course, they were in the conference finals 2 years ago when the Mavericks lost to the eventual champions, the Golden State Warriors, and we saw the infamous
Hey.
dunk by Andrew Wiggins in that series, kind of just solidified to have Andrew Wiggins have his come to Jesus moment. Talking about the I'm here. But nonetheless, Dallas Mavericks in the Eastern Conference or in the Western Conference Finals as Kyrie and Luka making some noise. But a tip of the cap to the Thunder, a fantastic season, and we can only hope the Thunder can keep
They'll
this.
be right back. Yeah.
We can only hope the Thunder keep this core together because normally when we have a season like that, normally it's they kind of break it up, and because of the market this and market that, we don't know. Hopefully, that will not cease because the Thunder really have something good going. They really do.
So now, what series did we say that whatever that team won was the Nuggets and the Timberwolves?
We said the winner of the Nuggets and T-Wolves series. We both said the winner of that series will represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals.
I'm still sticking to that. I think the Timberwolves will pull it off. I think it'll go 7. I think we'll get another 7 games, but I believe the Timberwolves will pull it off. They already done it. They just play basketball now. You went up to Denver and took it.
Not just that. Not just that. You were down 20.
Yes. That's what I mean by take. You took it. You snatched it from them. They were all probably ready to, move on, thinking y'all was about to pack your bags and go fishing. Nah.
He said Lake Minnetonka will not be purified, not yet. There's one more series to go.
I think the T-Wolves will get to the finals. And I think it.
And here's the thing, folks. Anthony Edwards did not shoot the ball well. Anthony Edwards only scored 16 in Game 7.
He had a supporting cast, which he had a supporting cast in Game 6.
It was McDaniels and it was Cat that lifted the T-Wolves to the comeback win in Game 7.
Notice when they lose, Cat does not have a good game, but that goes to say. But what I'm just saying, when Cat's in his bag or just contributing a little bit, and Ant-Man said it the best in the interview. They asked who was the MVP, and without hesitation, he said McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
Without hesitation,
he is absolutely correct. I mean, without McDaniels, the former Washington Husky, Jaden McDaniels. Without him, first off, Minnesota does not win 56 games, number one.
Nope.
Number two, Anthony Edwards does not turn into what people are saying Jordan's son from his side piece, as JP likes to say. But the one thing we've talked about, and the thing that has to be re-emphasized, is the team defense of the Timberwolves.
Yes.
It just showed itself again big time in the second half because, again,
yes,
up 20 in the altitude.
That means you put the clamps down.
Normally, there's no coming back. There's no coming back from that normally.
No.
But you have to give credit to Minnesota. Reed had 11 off the bench. I mean, Minnesota only had an 8-man rotation. And I mean, here's the thing. Murray put up 35. Jokic put up 34, 19, and 7. But could not get anything from anybody else. Gordon only shot the ball 5 times, scored 4 points. Porter shot the ball horribly. 3 of 12. Caldwell Pope only shot 2 of 7. Hey, I mean,
you're not lying. You ain't even say anything about him yet. That is true. That is very, very true.
Well, if we're just going off, well, I mean, while we're there, let's preview the Western Conference Finals. That is the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks, which of course the Timberwolves will have home court advantage throughout that series. Which, I mean, if you look at it, and we're just gonna just base it off your roster. Who on the Mavericks is gonna? They only got 1 7-footer. I mean, yes. Oh yes, Mr. Dugan, our NBA insider.
I agree to that.
Our basketball insider.
I agree to that. I do not disagree.
Once we mention the conference finals, Steve's. Well, you know what, Steve? If you have something to say, you might as well just mosey your ass on in here. I'm just saying. If you're not,
I mean, he is. I believe he is saying what he wanted to say.
Yeah, but I mean, he might give more analysis as to why. But anyhow, I think it will be a good series. I think Luka might
agree with that.
I think Luka might average a triple-double in the whole entire series.
Oh, him and Ant-Man going at it is going to be pretty exciting to see.
Well, not just that, Ant-Man against Kyrie on in the trenches is going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think this might come down to who has the better bench.
Yes.
Whoever has the better bench might get the little edge with that.
I agree 1,000%, but I will say this: if Gobert and Cat control the boards along with Reed, it's going to be a long series for the Mavericks.
Yeah, buddy. Don't disagree with that at all.
Because Gafford, Keebler, and Powell, but more specifically Powell and Gafford, they've got to help control on the boards. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. And you need consistency from Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench because that's going to be huge. Same with Brandon Williams. But I really think the key for Dallas is going to be P.J. Washington. I think P.J. Washington might be –
good call.
P.J. Washington
fucking call.
P.J. Washington might be the big X factor for the Mavericks.
I can't hang a star on you because you're the host of the show. But if there was a way to hang a star on that shit would yes. That right there, that's gonna be the X factor. Good fucking call on that one, bro. Yeah. I couldn't have said that even better.
He's the big one for Dallas. Anything you get from him because you know what you're going to get from Kyrie.
Facts.
If Kyrie turns into Uncle Drew, that's going to be a problem. Okay. We know what Luka's going to be.
Yep.
Okay. We'll just say it like this. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Edwards, they're going to get theirs.
Yes.
No matter how you slice it and dice it, those three are going to get theirs. There's just no circling around that. But that'll be ever. If Tim Hardaway Jr. gets off, because Tim Hardaway Jr. is just as streaky as his dad shooting the ball. He hits a few in a row, he can get hot with the best of them, without question. If McDaniels gets going for the Timberwolves, of course, that's just only going to help.
And do you know the good thing about this series right here?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Kyrie Irving is the old head on the court. There's some young blood in this series right here, and this talent is about to be shown about what's up and coming in the Western Conference. This right here just showed you what's changing in the Western Conference right now. You know, the Kings, I believe they'll be right back in it. They have some injuries, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. But what you're seeing right now is probably about to be the takeover, what's coming up with these youngsters in the Western Conference, especially with the Timberwolves. I don't think the Timberwolves would, no matter what the outcome is, the Timberwolves will be right back. You will see OKC right back because they're young and they'll get a couple of pieces right. But this series right here is about to show you what the Western Conference is about to be about for a few years.
Yeah,
and I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, you get the Mavericks second time in 4 seasons. They're in the conference finals. But I mean, for the Wolves, they haven't been here in 20 years since the kid Kevin Garnett won his MVP along with Latrell Sprewell. But I do agree with Steve. I am definitely going Timberwolves in 7.
Yeah. That's what I was at.
Should be fantastic, but it will not surprise me.
Not at all.
If the Mavericks do pull off the win, because
it's the cliche. It's whoever loses home court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the Mavericks still won, okay. Now that puts the pressure on Dallas to take at least get one. We'll hopefully to get two.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Mavericks can take two at home and take one in Dallas, that makes the series it can go either way. But this is why you play the game.
It's
some shooters on the court. It's some ballers on the court.
Yes, but
like
again,
you said, who's gonna guard Cat and Gobert? They don't have no big. They don't have no tower.
No,
and that's the thing.
No, I would say Minnesota because they've proven it.
Yeah, well, Minnesota just went to the altitude and came back from 20.
No, here's the kicker. Here's what people don't understand. In the 7-game series, Minnesota won not one, not two, 3 games in the altitude in Denver, Colorado.
Unheard of.
That arena
in the playoffs, at least.
That arena is loud. That arena is one of that arena in Denver is one of the best home court advantages in the NBA. But that stingy defense won 3 games in Denver. So
just think about this. That defense shut out Michael Porter Jr.
Yes.
I mean, Jamal Murray got his, and like you said, Jokic go get his. Like we already just gonna say, but they did enough. They did enough with the role players. Okay, of course, MVP. Yeah, only him is gonna stop himself. Missing shots.
Murray played like crap in the fourth quarter. Murray got shut down in the fourth quarter defensively. He could not hit. He could hit the side of a barn. Which again,
but that defense, they bring their defense, and I believe that defense can, of course, like you said, Luka might get his, but if they can stop the role players from getting theirs,
yes,
that's where this series is going to be real interesting. So it's going to be a chess match, but Minnesota going to come with their defense, and that might be. I think Minnesota defense is a little bit better than Dallas's defense. Well, a ton better than Dallas's defense. So, again, who is stopping Gobert and Cat if they're in their bag?
Yeah, if they are controlling the glass, it's Minnesota might be making their first trip to the NBA Finals. Now, it hurts and it sucks that it had to end this way for the Knicks. The fact that Jalen Brunson fractures his hand and Josh Hart gets hurt. But just the outpouring of emotion and appreciation the Knicks fans gave Josh Hart when Tibbs brought him out and just giving him a tremendous standing ovation was very great, very classy by Knicks fans. And I know they're heartbroken because it's like, damn it, why the Pacers? But the Pacers got the big win in Game 7, 130-109. But it just seems like once Brunson fractured the hand and went out, it just seemed like the will of the Knicks seemed to left them. And the Pacers, as a good team does, took advantage. Halliburton showed up big time in Game 7.
2-5, you did. There's no lie. I can't deny that. That's facts.
Halliburton led the way. Him and Nembhard shot the ball lights out for the Pacers. T.J. McConnell had 12 off the bench. Jackson had 9 off the bench. Siakam had 20. Naismith had 19. Miles Turner had 17 as the Pacers beat the Knicks 130-109, which gives us the Larry Bird final between the Indiana Pacers and the Boston.
You tell the truth. You tell the truth. But here's a question that I have for you.
Okay.
We're about to dial in. Does the Pacers do the Pacers have the firepower to keep up with the Celtics? Or okay, and here's a two-parter. Or is the pressure more on the Celtics? Or does the Pacers have the firepower to keep up with the Celtics?
If Tyrese Halliburton shows up like he did in Game 7,
I like where you're going with this.
Indiana has a very damn good chance to win. Because, again, Rick Carlisle is a damn good head coach, has been a damn good head coach for a long time. This is his second go-round in Indiana. And he feels like he has some unfinished business because he had some very good Indiana teams that got beat in the playoffs.
Yes.
Mainly because the Pistons, when the Pistons were going to the Eastern Conference, when they were going to the Eastern Conference Finals, it seemed like every doggone year. But
that was good basketball too. Ooh,
yeah,
that was good basketball.
Yes, it was. But if Miles Turner keeps throwing back the clock, if Nimhard and Naismith they play well, Indiana has a chance.
Yes.
The biggest the pressure's on the Boston Celtics. All the pressure is on the
don't fucking disagree with that. I just want to see if me and you were thinking the same thing. I just want to see. Ooh.
And that's why
I
say the pressure is all on Boston.
See, and where I was getting, just like the game in Cleveland, I told you that Cleveland was going to get a game like that because Boston always gives that game away. You're like, oh, here we go. They can give this series away right here, and then they turn it back on. So it should be Boston in 4 or 5, but like you said, if Halliburton can catch fire, McConnell plays how he been playing, you get a little bit from here, a little bit there. You know, Miles Turner hits some threes here or there. You know, Opie Toppin decides he wants to get off his ass and, play a little bit of basketball.
I'll say this. If Siakam is a pest in the series,
Boston's
going
to how I feel about that guy. You know, it goes Al Horford, and then Siakam is like right there. And it's beyond that he torched my fucking Warriors and kicks the Sixers ass every year. So yeah.
Steve, even if they get to the finals, I don't think Boston's going to win
it. I asked this question on one of our previous shows. Is it their year? Is it their year this year? Is it their year to lose it? It was supposed to be their year where they played the Golden State Warriors, and we all know what happened about that. My credit card was burning up because I was buying t-shirts.
It's set up for Boston to win it because okay.
It was supposed to when they played the Warriors.
True, but I'll say it in this. I say it in this sense. Boston, in a sense, has had it easy because they played Miami with no Jimmy Butler, and we all know that series would have gone longer if Jimmy Butler was in that series for the Miami Heat. You and I both know this. The Heat damn near could have upset them if Jimmy Butler is in that series. Okay. Then you play the Cavaliers. The last 2 games, they don't have Donovan Mitchell.
It was close, and that game was even close without Donovan Mitchell as well. So that's why it ain't. I don't think it's that gonna be that easy for Boston.
Yeah, and plus, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis is enough. If it ends up being Minnesota and the Celtics in the finals, again, who is going to, besides Al Horford, and he's undersized, who's going to keep Gobert and Cat off the offensive rebounds? Who on Boston? Who?
Only thing I'll say from them bastards.
And again, you don't know which Jason Tatum you're going to get because he'll have one good game.
Yep.
Don't show up the next. The same with Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
This series is the reason why you traded for Drew Holiday. And that matchup between him and Halliburton is going to be fire. Watching those two go at it, guard to guard. I mean,
yeah, nobody's guarding them two. Them 2 7-footers down there. That's a problem.
yes.
That would be a problem.
And not to
and the Boston Celtics had a problem with the small lineup that the Warriors put out there. So imagine the problem they will have with 2 7-footers that can actually get to the rim. And you're gonna bring Cat can shoot the 3-pointer so he can step out there. That's gonna open up more room for Ant-Man than just to dominate one-on-one. See, yeah. I don't think the road is gonna be too easy for Boston. I mean, it's like we say, it's set up for them to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But can they finish it? Can they Cody Rhodes it? Cody Rhodes it.
Can they finish the story? Yes. Can you finish the story to try to get that elusive 18th banner that you've been trying to get since you last won it back in 2008?
And what I say was, I don't know. Hell, I really want to say Pacers in 6. Because I just don't really know what Boston. Yes, they're going to probably come out game 1 and shoot the fucking gym out. Of course. Game 2, I don't know. They might be all feeling the high from game 1. Because I believe game 1 is going to be a blowout. I believe Boston is going to just flat out win that game. Game 2.
Okay.
Game 2. Maybe the Pacers will play a little bit better. They'll keep it close. Boston may pull it out, but I can still see Pacers still in 1. Now we get to Indiana.
And the field house is going to be lit. Oh my God. First time back in the conference finals in 10 years. Yeah, they're ready.
Halliburton has one of those games where you go, he plays piss poor maybe the other couple of games, and then it's like, all right, fellas, it's time for me to start shooting them crazy ass jumpers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pacers take game 3. Now we get to game 4.
I'm going to say Boston 7, but in my heart, I really want chaos. I would
love the Pacers and the Timberwolves.
Yes.
Or the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Just to see what Boston would do at the end of the year, because every sports media, it's Boston. It's Boston. Or it was the Knicks. It's Boston. It's the Knicks. It's Boston. All right. Well, Stephen A. Smith is crying like a big baby.
Yes, he is.
So now why not screw up the whole sports media, the books and everything? Why not?
But you know what?
Like I said,
what if we got Kyrie against Boston in the finals?
Ooh.
Uncle Drew returns to Boston to try to stick it to the
I like Minnesota's story better, but I like what you're going with that. That is a very, 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 you can Scorsese that shit. I see what you did right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying. But you know what though? I'm trying to cook up a Christopher Nolan trilogy with the Batman saga with the Timberwolves. All right, that's what I'm trying to cook up right now. I saw what you're trying to do.
And there's one key component we're not talking about for Minnesota, and I think he's the most important element.
Connolly.
Hello. Say it again for the people in the back so they can hear you.
I don't think they heard me say Mike Conley.
Oh yeah.
Since he's been back off injury,
yes.
The team is because he you know what? It's almost like a darker version of Steve Nash, just left-handed. He just can't shoot the J like Steve Nash can now. That's about the only thing. But as I've said, as a court general,
he doesn't need to shoot the J though.
No, he does not. Just get the rebounds, pass the ball, facilitate, play defense,
and take care of the ball.
That mid-range when it's needed.
Yes,
that's it. That is it.
Because he will take care of the ball and he will not turn the ball over.
Oh yeah. So, and he'll get to the free throw line too.
Yes,
he's savvy. He's savvy with that.
Yes.
And he was doing that in Minnesota. I mean, he was doing that in college.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies. Him set up Gasol and Zebo. Oh yeah.
All day.
We know about the grindhouse in Memphis, Tennessee. We know about it. We know. Trust us. We know.
So he will do the right thing in certain situations. So
Oh yeah. Yes. He will set up Anthony Edwards to do what Anthony Edwards does.
Yep.
That's what he will do.
And as long as the big fellas are down low, then that's. So on some real, I would say Boston in 7, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Pacers can take it in 6 because again, the first 2 games are going to be pivotal to how I watch that whole series.
Agreed.
Because they almost slipped up with the Cavaliers when the Cavaliers got that game, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go, here we go." So I like I said, I like the Timberwolves. So I got both series going 7, but I like the Timberwolves, and as much as I fucking want to say Boston, can't say Boston, but yeah, Boston in 7, but wouldn't be shocked if the Pacers find a way to pull it out. But I'm sticking with my guns with the Timberwolves. It's gonna be a good series, but I just think them just taking that game 7 in Denver, and how Ant-Man been talking shit and been backing it up, and how he told everybody we coming back to Denver. When that media man asked that question, like, what did you say? I told you I was coming back here. You can't
swag.
You can't. His confidence right now, and yet he can still be so humble.
And that,
and then you have that. So that's a scary combination when a team is confident and his teammates are feeding off that. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
And that deserves a yeet.
Yeet.
But however, there's also a Final Four in the NHL as the Edmonton Oilers on the road in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, that makes my cousin happy.
Yeah, Connor McDavid's got a chance to get to a Stanley Cup final as he's one step closer, but standing in the way is those pesky Dallas Stars, as it is the Stars and the Oilers in the Western Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals, it's the New York Rangers. We expect them to get there. And the defending Eastern Conference champions, the Florida Panthers, back in the conference final again. I'll say this: the last 5 seasons, we have had a Florida representation in the Eastern Conference in the National Hockey League. So apparently, in the Sunshine State, apparently they like hockey and play it very well. But yeah, Oilers and Stars doing battle for the Western Conference Championship. And, of course, Rangers, Panthers, Eastern Conference Championship in the NHL. And I think, if I'm trying to see who's got the home ice in the series, which, again, it's the Rangers. So, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Rangers and the Panthers will take place Wednesday on ESPN. Then Thursday, Game 1, Oilers and Stars in Dallas. You can catch that on TNT. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals takes place tonight at 5 p.m. on ESPN, and the West gets ready at Wednesday, which, of course, Wednesday. And sad to say that this will be the last series of NBA basketball on Turner Sports, as
is NBC picking it back up? I believe that's who was fighting for it, if I'm not correct.
Well, the last was that NBC was preparing a $2.5 billion a year bid to once again get the rights back to the NBA after they lost the NBA in 2002. So
whatever, just put basketball on TV so I can watch it. I don't care where it's at, as long as I can watch it. I'll miss Shaq, Kenny, and Charles, but
Inside the NBA will be greatly missed. One of the greatest shows of all time, which really hit its peak once Charles Barkley joined the set with Kenny the Jet Smith and Ernie Johnson. Because, I mean,
And then bringing in Shaq was just gold.
Oh yeah, yes, it
That
was.
was just gold.
It's a great show. It's one of the great shows that we never knew that we needed because the rapport that Shaq, Kenny, and EJ have, and Chuck just adds dynamic. But we all know that Ernie Johnson is a Turner lifer. He's not leaving Turner. I mean, he has been there since its inception, of course. I mean, it would be very hard to see Ernie Johnson work at somewhere other than a Turner Network capacity. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to hear the round ball rock theme again, as NBC had that theme for many, many years when NBC had the NBA. I wish they would get back the NBA Finals, but unfortunately, ABC is keeping that. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with NBC having the conference finals and the All-Star game. I'm okay with that. But it looks to be that the end is coming near for the NBA on TNT. Bill Simmons says that the NBA's media rule diet is complete, that NBC is going to be the other one. But again, it's not said officially yet. So hopefully they will bring that out. But it's just said that we could possibly be watching the last few installments of Inside the NBA, just like NFL Total Access just ended its show this past week on the NFL Network. The show that Rich Eisen first started.
Yes.
Now it is now a memory, which sucks because again, I'm not trying to watch ESPN for my NFL coverage. I'm just watching the game. And I like Scott Van Pelt hosting it, but no, just no. But anyhow, real quickly before we call it night and take naps, because it is definitely nap time.
It's nap time.
Just to recap what happened in Major League Baseball in a day-night doubleheader between the Braves and the Padres. The Padres took game 1 6-5. Braves took game 2 3-0. The Mariners come back down against the Yankees and beat them 5-4. Red Sox shut out the Rays 5-0. Sorry, it was Nationals bust out the whooping stick on the Twins 12-3. Marlins beat the Brewers 3-2 in Miami. Guardians continue to play well in the Stephen vote. They beat the Mets 3-1. Royals beat the Tigers 8-3. Orioles lose to the Cardinals 6-5. Angels comeback win over the Astros 9-7. And doggone it, that team that plays in Los Angeles and wears blue beat the Diamondbacks.
They can lose every once in a while. It's okay.
The Blue Jays beat the White Sox 9-3. And that is your recap of Major League Baseball on the day in sports. Oh, now before we forget, before we really get out of here,
are we talking about the legend?
We are going to talk about the Hall of Famer, the original Oakland Raider that wore 00, never missed a play, never missed a game in his entire 15 seasons in the NFL. Well, he played every single year of the American Football League for its 10 seasons from 1960 to 1969. He is an all-time AFL member, of course, member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, inducted by Al Davis in 1980. Last night during the Ace and Valeria, I told the story about how Uncle Bootknife, a.k.a. Mr. Irizarry, actually had the chance to step foot inside the legend's house in the Bay Area. Now, a lot of people say, and rightfully so, that when you think of the face of the Raiders, the first face you think of is Al Davis, and rightfully so. I'm not going to argue that. But I will say this. Perhaps without question, perhaps the embodiment of what it means to be a Raider, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think nobody emphasized that more than 00. Jim Otto was the epitome and the standard of what it is to be a Raider and what it's like to hold the Raider mystique. Jim Otto was that. He was that. And just to think,
get an argument for me.
And just to think, on one side you had Jim Otto at center.
Right.
You had Gene Upshaw as your left guard. And you had Art Shell as your left tackle. So just think.
All Hall of Famers.
So just think you got Mark Van Eegen or Pete Banaszak,
right,
or Clarence Davis running behind 00, number 63, and number 78.
All in the Hall of Fame.
Who are you going to guard? Who? And just the great thing about that is, when you look to the press box, it didn't matter if they were in Los Angeles or Oakland, but who's sitting right next to Al Davis? It's 00, Jim Otto. Right there. And then the classy tribute that Mark did yesterday, actually going to the stadium and lighting the torch for Jim Otto. Just a classy move by Mark Davis.
Well, hell, you started to see, even beside it was Marcel Reese that was sitting right there with Mark.
Yeah.
Otto was still in the press box with Mark Davis. So there was nothing lost there. The tradition was still there. So would you expect nothing less coming from Mark Davis to go do something like that though?
No.
But still just an honor for him to do that. But just
and
doing nothing less than that from my organization.
And doing that as the sun was setting in the evening, just to add to that element. But
of course,
Jim Otto, Hall of Famer of the Raiders. He was an original Raider. The original Oakland Raider took the first snap. In the history of the Raiders franchise. Passed away at the age of 86. Definitely prayers to Raider Nation, prayers to the Otto family and the Raider organization. Now, we know they don't retire numbers, but by God, if one does get retired, it should be 00.
And 81.
And 24.
you know what? Maybe do the whole game. Yes. Nobody should ever wear 24. It's already been legendized.
Twice.
Brother.
What you gonna do? But anyhow, special thanks to all chiming in and joining us here on episode 202 of the Mizzle Dub Show, where we talked about Usyk becoming the undisputed champion, the NBA's Final Four between the Pacers and Celtics in the Larry Bird finals, as I like to say, and the Mavericks and Timberwolves, a little Midwestern versus Mid-South flavor in the Western Conference Finals. Should be exciting. And, of course, the Rangers taking on the defending conference champions, the Florida Panthers, in the NHL and the ice. And, hey, OTAs got started in the NFL. So a little tease from the NFL as we get closer to the season. But
hey, you know what? We have been doing good because normally when football season's not around, now we got a lot. We're doing a lot better. But when football season comes around, you betcha.
Yeah, there will be a lot of enhancement of the Mizzle Dub Show. But nonetheless, thank you to everybody for chiming in and joining us. But it's nap time for Mizzle and myself. But for the Black Goku, I am the Black Skin Cosell saying thank you for watching us. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, it really is 12 o'clock some damn where. And you've been watching the 202nd episode of the Mizzle Dub Show. Take care, everybody.